Tonight, Perinton and the village of Fairport lit up in blue to honor a hometown hero, Rochester police officer Tony Mazurkiewicz.
Very big loss for our neighborhood.
Love and support on full display tonight. Good evening, I'm Jenny Ryan. Doug is off. Officer Mazurkiewicz was killed in the line of duty Thursday. He lived in Perinton with his wife and family. Neighbors say he was the backbone of their community. As 13 Wham's Carla Rogner reports, the town is working to make sure the family knows how much they are supported. Carla?
Yeah, and support for Tony and his family can be seen through blue ribbons placed all around Fairport and Perinton. And in his neighborhood, neighbors tell me they wanted to do something special for his family and help turn the neighborhood blue.
We would like to just light the neighborhood up blue as possible.
The blue ribbons and lights on homes in this Perinton community represent the love and support for the late officer Tony Mazurkiewicz.
Protector, jokester, loving.
To Jenn Guerin, he was her phenomenal neighbor.
He went above and beyond for his job. Could have retired 4 years ago, but he chose to stay on.
When she and her neighbors learned about the tragedy that took Tony's life, they turned heartache into action.
As you can see, we have a crew.
Spending the last few days driving around, looking for blue lights and ribbons.
But we have the spotlights as well.
Most donated by local hardware stores. Even the neighborhood's furriest members got to work. For $5, each neighbor can buy a blue light bulb to shine on their homes, with the proceeds going back to the Mazurkiewicz family.
It's a deep hurt. There's a lot of pain there, but there is also a lot of love and support on top of that as well.
The support for the officer extends beyond his neighborhood. Blue ribbons also line the streets of Fairport and at the Perinton Town Hall, where his wife Lynn works in the Parks Department. Perinton's town supervisor says plans are in the works for a permanent way to remember Tony.
He was all about his family, all about his kids. They were involved in a lot of different things, and he was always there to support them.
In the meantime, the late officer's neighbors say they aren't sure what else to do but continue to shine a light of support for the Mazurkiewicz family.
Tony and Lynn would drive their grandkids around during Halloween time and Christmas time to look at all the decorations. And now the granddaughters get to drive around and see all the blue lights for their grandfather.
Neighbors I spoke with this afternoon say they will continue to find ways to support the Mazurkiewicz family. They're hoping to set up a meal train next. They also passed along a message from Lynn, who says she's thankful for everything her neighbors and the community have been doing. Jenny?
Their other family. All right. Thank you, Carla. Officer Mazurkiewicz will be laid to rest a week from today, and he will posthumously receive the police department's highest honors, the Medal of Valor and the Purple Heart. Calling hours will be on Sunday, July 31st from 1 until 8 o'clock at the Keenan Funeral Home in Fairport. There will be a shuttle service from the high school available, and his funeral will be Monday at noon at the Blue Cross Arena. Officer Mazurkiewicz is survived by his wife, 4 children, and 3 grandchildren.
Well, last week, Rochester's mayor announced a state of emergency in response to the violence in our city. That night, Officer Mazurkiewicz was murdered, and there were 2 more homicides over the weekend. And as Doug Edwards tells us, law enforcers and lawmakers are in search of agreement on possible solutions.
I need the state of New York to carry out its duty and responsibility, and I need them to do it now.
Rochester City Councilman Michael Patterson is making an impassioned plea for a change in state laws.
The question to Rochester is, what kind of city do you want to live in?
Sheriff Baxter put it out on Twitter this weekend. He would clear his schedule today to meet with lawmakers, and they took him up on it.
We have to do something, and we have to change a few things, and that's all we're saying. Let's not just sit in our status quo and look at numbers and statistical analysis and correlations, causations. Let's do something.
One thing that came out of the sheriff's meeting with some lawmakers today is the possible revival of something like Project Viper, which used federal agencies and federal laws to target high-crime neighborhoods.
We're just trying to solve 2 kinds of problems. The immediate fire that we need to put out in our city, and the long-term solutions to try to give law enforcement all the tools that they need.
One police chief near Albany tried a tool that may be unprecedented in New York. When Brandon McKinley was arrested for DWI in May, June, and July, The chief put out a community notice urging caution if people see him driving.
Just think about this. Try to put this in context. He failed to appear 8 times and continues to be released back into the community. That statement alone defies all common sense and logic. And I am not saying that all of bail reform is bad. It's not.
There are some people who honestly believe we have too many police, who honestly advocate for a significant reduction in our police force. Well, we're short 100 officers now. How's that working?
Advocates for New York's reform say the laws aren't to blame for the surge in violent crime in Rochester, but many in law enforcement disagree. Both sides seem to agree urgent action is needed and that it might not come from Albany.